podcast since, wait for it, right about now. Real classic rock. The Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. Coming to you live from WZNG Studio B, it's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9. Get ready for inside analysis and recap on all things Cascade High School basketball with the Lady Champions head coach, Janie Demonbreum, and Champions head coach, Doug Worsley. Hosted by Voice of the Champions, Noah Maddox. Now let's send it live to Studio B for another edition of the Cascade Coaches Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cascade Coaches Show, brought to you by Five Oaks Farm of Tennessee, Clanton Pipe and Supply, First Community Bank, and Cascade Service Company. I'm Noah Maddox, joined by Coach Janie Demonbreum. Coach, welcome again to the show. Welcome inside the studio.
Thanks for having me.
So last time we talked was, well, Saturday, but last time in studio was a week ago before 3-game week. That feels, like 3 years ago.
It does. It feels like it was 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
But you guys took down Community. One of the two big games that were coming up in the district at Community and back at home against Chapel Hill, and then fell at Richland on the second night of a back-to-back on Saturday. They are yet again for the second consecutive week the unanimous number one team in Class A. So a fun non-district game for you guys. Cascade Lady Champions coming in ranked 4th this week. Just swap spots with Westview after a 2-1 week. Coach, 3 games in a week. Haven't had that in a little bit since Gatlinburg, I guess. Yeah. How was that? And how did that play into what we saw on Saturday?
Yeah, it was exhausting. But it was a good test for us. 2 big district games this week. And just another challenging game to wrap up the week. We were able to see kind of what we were made out of, how we were going to attack each other or attack each game a little bit differently because they were all 3 different teams, different styles of games that they were going to play. So I'm kind of hoping that it got us a little bit ready in that mindset of, when we get to tournament time. It's a great opportunity to get you ready for that, especially, I think in the past we've played those 3 game weeks earlier in the season as to compared to into the season.
For sure. And, that kind of quick turnaround that's going to be going on in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's what I told the girls today. Yeah. I said, we're less than a month away from district tournament. Yeah. That starts the December, I'm sorry, my months are all wrong. February 16th is the first date for that. So it'll be crazy how quick it'll go.
For sure. Cascade coming in 16-4, 3-0 in district play, tied for the best start in program history, at least in this century, with 2018-19. So we'll start going back to Tuesday, the three weeks ago Tuesday, against Community on the road. Got you guys second district win of the year, and was hard fought throughout, 51-46. You guys ended up taking it home behind, Kagan had 21, Lizzie had 16. How are you guys able to come out on top? Because that thing was in the balance for 4 quarters.
Oh, yeah. We just finally settled ourselves down. They were throwing different defenses at us, getting us off our offensive rhythm. And the girls were able to settle. Lizzie stepped up big, hit some key shots when they really were focusing on Kagan. We've talked with both of them about how to adjust to that because it's going to happen. And we saw it happen again later on in the week. And so, we were able to put a little more pressure on them and get a little bit more steals away from them. So it's a tough place to play. Kudos to them. They had a full gym on Tuesday night, and our group traveled well too with us over there. And so for us to be able to weather just the environment that it was in, they were hitting their shots that we hadn't seen them hit in the 4 games that we had scouted them on. And so, sometimes that's just how it falls. That, it's a rivalry game. You're going to hit your shots. It's a little bit momentum, a little bit more fire in you, a little bit on that game. So
for sure, yeah. Community had the lead at the end of the first quarter, 12-10, but I think it was like 8-2 at one point.
Right.
You knew that they'd come out with their hair on fire, especially after the kind of game that they had on the previous week, to close the week on Friday.
Right.
And so you guys were able to survive their effort and come out on top. Looking at the box score, obviously, in a game that's that tight, there's going to be a lot of evenness. But the big separator was 14-6 in points off turnovers, which has been a pretty solid indicator for you guys' success this year. How big was it to be able to get out and run and create a little bit of transition in you score 51 points. It's not like you had 30 points in fast break, but yeah.
I mean, for us, that is one of our keys to being successful, is being able to turn those turnovers for them into points for us, and that's against anybody that we play. And so we try to identify real quickly through our film sessions of, okay, is this a team that we can get up in and get some points off of their turnovers? And we were able to do that. They were able to get the ball down the court a little bit, I think, during maybe the third quarter. And so that kind of got us off key. But Lexi does a great job of bringing all that energy. And then we've got long arms in the game with Kagan and Lizzie, too. And so any type of deflections, and then Caroline's always there to sweep those up, too.
For sure, yeah. Kagan had 3 steals in that one. Finished 9 of 12. She shot the only free throws for you guys.
Yeah, and it was great. I mean, we shot a lot better free throw wise. Not perfect, but a lot better. She knows at the end of the game, you're going to have the ball in your hand. You're going to get fouled a lot, so you're going to have to step up and hit those free throws. And she did a good job of that. Yeah,
she picked up her 4th foul with 7 minutes to go. You guys kept her in because you guys trust her on that end to play with those 4 fouls. And then she was able to, we've seen all season just about leading up to this game, especially take over in the 4th, find a way to get either, a bucket or get to the free throw line. And you guys, paired with a couple of key defensive stops, came out on top on Tuesday. We'll take a quick 2-minute break right here on the Cascade Coaches Show. Continue talking to Coach JD on the other side of this break.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
Friends don't let friends miss out on savings. They share tips, tools, and smart choices that help your money go further. At First Community Bank, our savings accounts make it easy to work toward your goals with flexible options, competitive interest, and the friendly guidance you deserve. Because saving more isn't something a good friend lets you miss out on. Open an account today and put your money to work. First Community Bank. Friends and neighbors first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662. If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton Pipe and Supply has you covered. With everything from skid steers, backhoes, and even mini excavators, you never know what Clanton will have on the lot. For all your pipe and used equipment needs, call 931-684-4847. For heavy equipment, financing is available with approved credit. And of course, you know Clanton for their corrugated metal and plastic culvert pipe. They carry all types and sizes, not to mention that delivery is also available. 931-684-4847, ClantonPipeandSupply.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show inside Studio B right here on the Zinger 100.9. Maddox with Coach JD in-house. We wrapped up talking about the community game from 6 days ago, just a moment ago before the break. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the second of the 2 district games. That was last week, a 61-32 win over Chapel Hill. You guys shot 55% from the floor, with 36 of the 61 coming in the paint. That is points. And you guys forced 21 turnovers. This is, I think, well, L.L.C was our player of the game. She had a layup in the third quarter, but it was because, we even called it during the game. It was like, she's not going to have a bajillion steals, but she, quote, only had 3.
Yeah.
But her presence, she forced at least half of those turnovers that Chapel Hill had.
100%. And I said it the other night. That's just what she does best. And she's so selfless. She could care less if she had 10, 20 points or 2 points. As long as our team's successful, like, she wants to do whatever that is. And when she's out there doing her thing and causing havoc for everybody else around us. And again, she's gotten 10 times better defensively. I mean, we have thought about putting her on some of the better drivers because her footwork is so much better than what it had been in the past. And I mean, she's not handsy. Sometimes that can be an issue with some of the referees. And so, we're starting to trust her a lot more on the defensive side of even the half court. Full court, she will cause havoc no matter what. But it's sitting down in that half court is going to win you those big games, and she's starting to earn a lot of that trust.
Yeah, it feels like one of the, and this is probably kind of what you're alluding to, is when she's using her hands, it's on the pass instead of trying to reach in on when somebody's dribbling.
I mean, there was one time by half court where the girl spun and Lexi's just right there, and she just snatched it and went with it. I think that was the one that she had her 2 points on. Yeah. And those things she's got a knack for it, man. She just goes and gets it.
Yeah. She was credited with 7 assists. That felt about right because, on her, if she picks up a deflection or whatever, an easy throw ahead for a layup. And then those 2 threes in the first half specifically, it was a little outside of L.L.C, it felt a little, you maybe raised the energy level a little bit for everybody else. But you guys put it together and came away with the win. And it feels like, we talked about it on Friday, but L.L.C sparked it. And then everybody else kind of, fell into line.
I feed off of her I love when she's in the game. It gives me a lot more energy on that sideline. And that's kind of how I felt on Saturday. When she came out, I was like, golly, there goes my energy too. And I can't let that happen all the time, but it's just fun to watch her play on the court. But, I mean, she just is special. It's hard not to acknowledge the fact that, she's going to do things that don't show up on the stat sheets and things that writers are not going to write about and things people aren't going to talk about unless you're at the game. You can listen to it on the radio, but unless you're physically there to watch her energy, you can't replicate it.
Yeah, it's not, personally, I wasn't there, then there would be maybe not even one mention of her in the post game about the game because you just don't see it.
Yeah, you have to be there to see it.
Exactly. And I agree. It helps set the tone, and when she's playing solid defensively, it allows the other 4, to maybe get away with a little bit extra because all 5 are in, they're connected and playing the same way. And if she's setting the tone, that feels like it really helps you guys as a team. So Kagan finished with 15. Lizzie with 14. She was 7 of 11, 7 of 8 from 2. And she quite a few of those were layups, get out and running. But she's starting to get near the average of hitting 1 mid-range pull-up every game. And
we've talked about it. There were a lot of times earlier in the season to where she was passing up a lot of those mid-range shots. And I'm like, look, you have to have 3 levels of the game if you want to be the player that you can be. And she's really worked on that. Her 3-point shot has come a long way. She's our most consistent 3-point shooter right now. Yeah. And then when she slices and dices, she's getting a lot stronger and able to finish on the inside. So
It felt like in this game and also the on Saturday a little bit and on Tuesday that she's starting to find her touch, get the touch back around the rim at a higher level. Start of the year, it was kind of like, we're thinking back of the district championship game and she's making everything. And then the start of the year, it's kind of rolling off and it's just like, just give her a month or so. And we gave her the month and, it's back. It feels like it's back to normal.
Yeah, I think back to playing myself and, you're a sophomore.
Yeah.
And you don't want to overshadow anybody. You don't want to make anything a competition. You're still that underclassman. You're still learning a lot about the game.
Yeah.
And, she didn't have, I think she started, I guess, right after Christmas break last year. And so we kind of threw her to the wolves then, and she shined. Yeah. And then this year, she's having to take a little bit more of that scoring role. And she was a little hesitant about that in the beginning, but her and Kagan, they just work so well together that it's become a beautiful thing to watch. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun duo, not to discount the other three players out on the floor, whoever it may be. But, with those two, especially on offense when it's clicking, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. I'm sure as a coach, it's pretty nice to be able to have that out there.
It is. Coach Wild, he even told me, he said, your biggest strength is that you have multiple girls that can score. And that is one of our strengths. And that's something that we've lacked for a while. But, he mentioned nearly every single one of my girls. He said, you've got 5. You can put 20 in. 25 is holding her own. It's not just those two. And I think that you saw that, and everybody can see that when you turn to the game on Saturday and Caroline's hitting threes and Joe's hitting threes. It's just, who are you going to guard specifically? Because we're interested in seeing that too.
For sure. One last note about Chapel Hill. Stallnecker finished with 10, I believe, in that game, but not very efficient especially compared to the game against Summertown. She had 20 in about 3 quarters.
Yeah, she's a great athlete. Watched her play this summer. I talked to her dad a little bit after the game, and I told him, I said, look, she's got to get that 3-level game. Just exactly what I'm talking to Lizzie about, and it just steps up her game. But she's grown a lot. To Coach John Wild, I said, she'll be a stud. If she wants to work at it, she will be. Yeah. I really do think that this may be her 4th, maybe 3rd year playing basketball. So.
Yeah, we talked to TC from Chapel Hill, the TC Sports broadcast on Friday. I was talking to him, and I brought up, how impressed I was watching her play against Summertown. It looked like as just a sophomore that she had more comfort, not just playing the game, but in herself physically and in terms of what she's able to do. Yeah. And he said, I think like 7th grade she's been playing. And that was 1 year before she started like on the varsity team. So keeping that in your mind as perspective, it really, was like, wow, there's still a lot left in there. Yeah. So we'll move ahead to Saturday real quick, touch on the game against Richland, top 5 showdown, if you want to call it, between the 2 different classifications. And you guys hung with them for a half. They started to pull away a little bit at the end of the 3rd quarter, and then you guys struggled in the 4th, just kind of ran out of gas, it looked like. Lizzie hit that first 3 like a minute in, and then couldn't really get anything going until about 2 minutes to go. Bailey Blair, obviously, her talent speaks for itself. 27 points. It feels like she's automatic from the 10 feet. 10 feet in that feels like her spots.
Yeah, she's got great touch. For us, we just had too many defensive breakdowns. We talked about that today at the end of practice. Coach Woodson highlighted, I think they had 23 points off of our defensive breakdowns. And that hurts whenever, and that's just things like, okay, we closed out too much on this one. We didn't close out enough on this one. We doubled this one and left this one wide open. Just some things that were out of the ordinary for us. And it was a good highlight for us to, hey, we've got to, if we want to do what we want to do, we've got to be able to not have this much of a gap, because they were making us look like we didn't even scout them at one point in time. And it's a shame, because they're a great team. Don't get me wrong. And Coach Hall over there does a great job. But we did. We ran out of gas and we didn't execute the way we should have.
Yeah. There's just, quick peep at the box score, uncharacteristic stats for teams that are playing y'all, opponents that's like, whoa, 50% shooting from the floor, only 10 turnovers, which can be a credit to, Richland in this case for taking care of the basketball. Is a really good team. The free throw discrepancy, which isn't on officials, that's on, you guys setting the tone as it has been throughout the year. And,
Right.
That's why you guys have taken a lot more free throws than other teams against y'all.
We've been physical and we've drove a lot. That's one thing. After the game, Coach, I sent Coach Hall a message and just let him know I would love to continue to schedule them. And hopefully our season continues to progress as well as theirs. I hope to see them in the state tournament. And he complimented our girls so much on, your level of scoring is unreal. When you guys get to the paint, you're almost unstoppable. And that's just a huge compliment for our girls. Yeah. He said our girls play with class and they're respectable. And so it's just good things to hear that people are recognizing that our girls are working hard at.
For sure. And kind of going off of what Coach Hall kind of was talking about, it was 24-14 in points in the paint. That I kind of think illustrates, best illustrates the struggles on Saturday.
I agree.
As I'm just pulling this up here. It was 16-14 the first time, so not a huge, I guess decrease, but the defense was there in the first matchup.
Sure.
So we'll look ahead to Cannon County non-district, the second time playing them this week, tomorrow night on the road. Fun little road trip to Cannon County. You guys took them down 59-48 in the first meeting, thanks to a 40-point second half. And then the big one on Friday, 2 unbeatens in district play, at least until maybe tomorrow. We'll see how Summertown Loretto plays out tomorrow night. That should be, another solid game in this district. But nonetheless, you guys hosting Summertown, a chance to improve to 4-0 in the district and get through the first half of district play unscathed. We'll go ahead and look towards Friday since it is in the district and kind of relevant to the most important part of the season. What are we looking for on Friday? And is there, obviously preseason we talked about last year's region tournament game against Summertown. This year you guys have them in the district. How much? I'm sure there's a ton. How much motivation do you guys have going into Friday night?
It's unreal. That's one game that is not just circled on my calendar, but it's a statement game. We definitely fumbled that game last year near the end, but it's a new team for us and it's a total new team for them. I think that they have 3 returners completely. Everybody else is new for them. They have the Bonner girl, she's a freshman. They've got Tess Long, she's a freshman. And then there are some
Ella Busby.
Well, she's back. Busby's back. Ella Lou Mason. Ellie
Lou Mason.
Ellie Lou Mason and the other Long girl, Gabby Long is back too. She's a real good shooter. But we match up with them a lot better than we do the other 2 giants in our district. But so it'll be interesting. They do a lot of dribble drive, a lot of drive and screen, or pass and screen. And so I'll be interested to see if they stick with that or do they throw in a little bit more sets against us. Because that's essentially what we're doing too at the same time. Yeah. So how will we defend that? But I think we're going to match up well with them, and we got to keep them off the boards. They crush the boards really hard, and they like to run and jump a little bit too. And we'll bring it down the court. They'll pick up full man to man, and they'll just leave one girl and come double the ball. And 2 years ago, when we were down there and they did that to us, we were standing completely underneath our goal, not even realizing that they were doing that. So hopefully we're going to talk about that a little bit this week, so we can eliminate those turnovers that could possibly show up for us.
For sure. Really excited for Friday. Just, again, see the matchup. They're not, it's a different type of team.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
On both
as
sides.
you said, able to match up a little bit better physically in terms of height. They still have some, they'll still have a few that are taller, but
Yeah. They've got the Bonner girl, the freshman, she looks long, just on film that we've seen. She might be a little bit of Kagan's size, but still, I mean, I think maybe she's dropping 15 plus every game. And then, the Busby girls, every time she attacks, she's looking for a foul. She's looking for a foul, but she's also finishing her shots.
Right.
She's pretty good at the free throw line. I think she might have missed one or two against Community the other night. So we've got to make sure that we keep her in front of us.
For sure. Last thing we'll wrap up with talking about a little word on Susanna. She came back, threw a touchdown against Community.
Yeah. Huge. I was proud of her.
You guys threw in, trust her as a senior to make that play. Last 3 games, how has she looked? And, we knew that it would be a process for her to get ramping back up. That process still ongoing. But how encouraged have you been through last week, getting her over the course of 3 games, more and more minutes each night?
Yeah, we're seeing her condition to come back, her just that game condition. I think, she played well against Richland the other night. Unfortunately, L.L.C got into foul trouble, but that gave Susanna a little bit more of that playing time to get her legs underneath her. She's still trying to find her strength, and that's going to come. I had that conversation with her this past week hey, give yourself some grace still. This is not the end of it. At the same time, like, I need you, and I need her at her strength in February. So, as a kid, that's tough. The years that she's had, the last 2 years, but she's such a positive kid and such a great asset to our team. So we see her every day. She's getting in there, getting those rebounds. And today I had to get on to all 3 of my upperclassmen about getting offensive boards, and the next thing I know, here she comes flying through the air. So I think she's feeling a lot better than what she was. So it's just good to see her back doing what she loves to do.
Yeah, for sure. She was killing that slaw burger on Saturday.
She sure was.
She was right
her
right
dad's
front
like,
of us.
hey, get whatever you can eat. So.
Well, thank you, Coach, for coming in once again. Good luck this week. You guys have Cannon County on the road. Tomorrow night, we'll be live at 5:45 right here on the Zinger 100.9, and then Friday night, the big one against Summertown at home. Again, same start time. Make sure everybody that's listening, and it's homecoming. Yes. That gym better be packed. I'll be
homecoming's between the girls and the boys game, so it's not at 5:00. So it's going to be between the games. Okay. So hopefully we have a bigger crowd for our homecoming attendance.
For sure. Yes, that gym better be packed. I'll be pretty disappointed in everybody if it's not close. Thank you, Coach, once again. We'll talk to you as the week progresses tomorrow. And good luck this week. Hope you guys pull it out.
Thank you.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. On the other side of this break, we'll talk to Coach Worsley.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
In our community, we believe in supporting one another. And at First Community Bank, we take that seriously. For generations, we've been proud to serve our neighbors with personal service that's as genuine as a handshake. Whether you're opening an account for your new business, saving for your child's education, or just need a safe place for your money, we're here with a commitment to the people of our hometown. First Community Bank, proud to be your hometown bank. Visit us today and see how we can help you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton Pipe and Supply has you covered. With everything from skid steers, backhoes, and even mini excavators, you never know what Clanton will have on the lot. For all your pipe and used equipment needs, call 931-684-4847. For heavy equipment, financing is available with approved credit. And of course, you know Clanton for their corrugated metal and plastic culvert pipe. They carry all types and sizes, not to mention that delivery is also available. 931-684-4847, ClantonPipeandSupply.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show. Maddox now joined by Coach Doug Worsley. Coach, welcome into the studio right here on the Zinger 100.9 Cascade Coaches Show, brought to you by Five Oaks Farm of Tennessee, Clanton Pipe and Supply, First Community Bank, and Kincaid Service Company. First off, congratulations on the week going 3-0 in, I guess one might say, relatively improbable fashion based on how Saturday went.
Yeah, I'd say if you'd have taken a poll probably about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, the percentage of us winning was probably about
your win percentage, win probability.
Win probability probably would have been under 10%. But man, what a way to finish it!
A 20-0 run to close against at Richland. I mean, that game had wild swings. 17 or 14-0 for them. You know, you guys cut it to 3 in the third, and then 14-0 for them, strung across the end of the third, into the fourth, and then you guys, that second last time out, all of a sudden, hey, let's outscore them 20-0. That had to be what was said verbatim, right?
Yeah, that was not what was said. I was a little upset at us because we didn't have any team fouls. We weren't being physical. We weren't trying to engage. We were playing very hands-offish, and it went from 7 to 17 fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, this is going to be bad unless we get in here and start mixing it up. And thankfully the boys listened, and once we got it mixed up, boy, it really got going.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about from that game specifically. We'll go ahead and wrap up the game on Saturday since we're here. Because there were 2 district games, last week. I mean, the one against Community feels like it was, as Janie said, 3 weeks ago at this point. But you guys now sitting at 12-7 overall, 2-1 in district play. The 12th win, of course, 65-62 at Richland. The box score, of course, when a game is like that one, it might look a little funny in some capacity. But you guys, forced 16 turnovers. You guys did not turn the ball over. Had just 8. Caleb Kelso finished with 8 points. Struggled a little bit from the field for the first 3 quarters, but then in the fourth quarter, he had to miss 2 minutes because he got, I guess, poked in the eye.
He got elbowed,
or elbowed on the goaltend. But Cooper and of course Tyler defensively and Caleb defensively. Cooper finished with 21 and 6 boards, 5 assists, 5 deflections. How big was he down the stretch on Saturday?
Man, he played really, really well. Obviously, we were always challenging Cooper to do better defensively. The biggest thing for him, we keep challenging him is, hey, don't go block the shot. And so I know he wants that. He really likes doing that. But I'm just like, hey, man, if you'll just wall up, you'll get deflections, you'll get steals. And he was shooting the gap a little bit, and he was getting deflections. And when he does that, it makes him a lot bigger than he already is. And it makes the court shrink. And so that's always good for us, especially because now they got to put the ball on the floor because the passing lanes aren't clear. And now our guards can get after it a little bit more. So it's a really big deal for us.
You guys went to him nearly didn't have the ability to go to him at the end with the near turnover. But then you guys, fortunate, got it back. Ball swung around they started trapping a little bit up top. You guys swung it around, found him down low, and he, the quick move on McCormick, and then, he gets a 3-point play to put you guys up 3. Was there ever any thought of fouling? Because for the record, I posed a question to Brian. We kind of said, I don't know. And I said, I don't think it's in Coach's DNA to, at least with the way that this game has gone, 17-0 the last 6 minutes, to foul right here.
Coach Roberts asked me when Richland took their timeout. Coach Roberts asked me. He said, "Do you want to foul?" And I said, "No, not right away. Let's see what they do." And I kind of had a feeling that Jason was going to advance the ball to midcourt and then call timeout. He had two. So I figured he'd at least waste one doing that. And when they got to midcourt, I thought, we've played it this far. You got 6.5 seconds. Let's play it straight. And so our goal was, all right, we're around the perimeter. We're going to switch everything. Everybody's feet should be outside the three-point line. Now, if they lob it over the top and get a quick two, it's going to be less than 5 seconds. He's going to take time out. Then it becomes a game of get the ball in bounds. Yeah. And I felt like we would be fine there. If he took another timeout because he didn't like our defensive stance, now he's out and I'm out. Now it becomes give them the two, step out of bounds with the ball, clock runs out, we win by one. Right. And so those things were going off in my mind. But in the end, it was, hey, Noah, Tristan, they'll probably screen with your guys. They're going to get the ball to 25. He's hit 6 threes tonight. Like, he hit some unbelievable shots. One was Tristan draped all over him. Another one was Henry draped all over him. I said, just make sure you switch and then don't foul the shooter. Yeah. So it's not in my DNA to foul. That's not my first instinct, but we did think about it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels like that sort of thing, just based on the feel of how the game's going. And at that point, it didn't feel like you guys were going to foul. But, you never know. They hadn't scored. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize they hadn't scored. In 6 minutes. I wasn't looking at the score. Like, I was thinking about the next play, next possession. I didn't realize they hadn't scored until it was over. And then I thought, it just feels like they're out of sorts. Right. I just felt like we were going to get a good defensive stand, and we went with it. Yeah. Andrew's shot came up short, a little deeper, had to fade away. You guys played that, just about as well as you could hope for. Yeah, Noah was right there. And the other thing that we mentioned over the air was the rebounding. That's the other factor in terms of if you want to foul, okay, they've got McCormick, who's, super physical, great rebounder. That had to, it had to be a deterrent, at least a little bit for just in general, if when you go through that thought process. Yeah, we were, and that's one reason why when I look at whether I want to foul or not at the end, how good are they at rebounding the ball? They're really good at rebounding the ball. Yeah. They're physical. Game like that, they could let it go, and you miss it. Yeah, they get the stick back anyway. So those are things that all play into your decisions. For sure. So we'll go backwards in time a little bit right after this 2-minute break right here on the Cascade Coaches Show.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
At First Community Bank, we're more than just a place to deposit your paycheck. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Whether it's helping you buy your first home, saving for college, or offering a loan to get your dream off the ground, we're here every step of the way. For over 35 years, we've been proud to serve the people of Bedford County. When you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. First Community Bank, your hometown bank. Stop by today. We're just right down the road. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cascade is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Cascade Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show, brought to you by Five Oaks Farm of Tennessee, Clanton Pipe and Supply, First Community Bank, and Cascade Service Company. Noah Maddox here with Coach Worsley. Coach, we'll go back in time to last Tuesday in an 82-74 win over Community on the road. You guys shot 54% in that game. Went 7 of 15, very efficient from behind the three-point line. Quite a few turnovers in total, but you guys ended up with 40 points in the paint. If going back to that game, how big of a win was that game for you guys? Because it was in the balance for a little bit, for a good bit until we talked about it on Tuesday. That start of the fourth quarter gave you guys a little bit of a cushion. You guys were able to hold on as the quarter progressed.
Yeah, I wasn't real happy with our turnover stat. Obviously, gave 20 of them away. A couple of those are charges. We didn't play smart in some situations. And as far as efficiency behind the 3-point line, I was really kind of disappointed we didn't get more. Our goal is to try to get about 33s a game and shoot and make 10 or 11 of them. That's our efficiency. I really like that stat. But we were, again, very efficient behind the 3-point line, about half as many threes as I wanted. But they played a zone particularly for a while to take that away. They'd seen us on tape. Outside of that, I was really proud of our guys getting into the paint, scoring. That's a challenge sometimes for us because we want to shoot the ball from the outside so much. But it was just a matter of, hey, we got to get paint touches. And then if we have an opportunity to score in the paint, let's take it. Let's not give it up for the three that quickly. And the guys did a really good job. I thought we attacked the paint well. Again, had some bad decisions in several instances where we commit silly charges. But I was really proud of the guys. We had a 12-point lead, then we had a 10-point lead, and just got silly with a couple possessions, and we squandered them. But give credit to the guys for going back out there and finishing the game.
For sure. Cooper and Caleb, 23 points apiece in that one. Caleb finding the stroke from downtown especially was a nice thing to see for big picture wise. Went 3 for 4 from 3, 9 of 14 overall from the floor. Henry 14 points with 3 assists. Cooper 23, 6 and 7. Charlie Haskins, 32 points for them. One of the better guards in the district. We talked about Ryder Pilkington on last Tuesday, how well he played in this game. You mentioned could have scored even more than 13, but his 13 he did have were pretty big.
Yeah, Ryder's really come a long way. Really, his hard work is starting to pay off. He's starting to get into the paint. He's starting to finish more. And again, as he gains more and more confidence, we have more confidence throwing the ball, and we know he's going to do good things with it. So it's helping round our team into good form. Hopefully we're moving forward, continue to move forward and continue to improve each week. But those guys, man, I was really proud of those guys, especially how we gave up few too many straight line drives to the rim. But I was proud of those guys for sticking it. When it counted, we made enough big plays to win.
For sure. And that was a key. Both of you guys were 0-1 in district play, and the winner, you don't want to go 0-2.
Right.
And picking up a big win there to get to 500. Then you guys are currently above 500, 2-1 in the district after a 58-37 win over Chapel Hill at home on Friday night. What did you like from the game on Friday? Again, only 8 turnovers. You guys brought the turnovers down from Tuesday and then managed to keep it that way on Saturday. Caleb led the way with 17, hit 5 out of 10 threes. Really good all-around game from Caleb, not just in the box score, but watching it. Had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals to go with it. What did you like that you guys did well on Friday night?
I liked our defense. I thought we locked up early and really, really gave them I think we made it difficult for them to get the ball where they wanted it. They want to play a high-low game with their size. They have some really long, athletic guys. I thought we did a really good job of keeping the ball out of their hands for the most part. I think number 23 he was the only one in double digits, but he got the ball a couple places and, beat us to the spot. But overall, I really liked the way we were attacking them. Defensively, we attacked them. And then we were really patient against the zone for the most part. We didn't take a lot of bad shots. And again, point of emphasis all week, we had 20 turnovers on Tuesday. Let's bring them down. And both days, obviously eight turnovers on Friday, 8 turnovers on Saturday. So
for sure. It was 29-11 at halftime, and you guys forced 18 turnovers, 22-6 points off turnovers. That was really a lot in the first half when you guys kind of jumped on them. It felt like both games started about the same way on Friday night. You guys forced a lot of turnovers early as they had to kind of get used to, not get used to, but get used to the pressure that you guys applied defensively, and you guys took full advantage of that with getting some easy runouts.
Yeah, I thought our focus waned a little bit in the third, and they were able to score a little bit more. But for the most part, I really liked our intensity level. I thought we rebounded the ball pretty well as well, as far as not giving them a lot of second opportunities. So, again, always good to get a district game, especially at home, get above 500 in the district. And then, we hadn't thought about it. We didn't talk about it. We knew we had Richland coming up the next night. So our focus was just win the district game first, and then Richland is a good competitive game outside of the district. Doesn't mean anything to us, but it's a good measuring stick. And so we knew we were going to get that on Saturday as well.
For sure. And, going into the game Saturday at Richland, it felt like, first of all, it felt like you guys, it's going to be a different game than the first one because of, the message after that game then led to the game against Cannon County, where you guys first showed this kind of the second half pulse of, igniting these kind of comebacks that you guys have put together here. But the response on the second night of a back-to-back, we'll circle back around to Saturday night. That specifically paired with, responding after the way the first game went, despite them missing, probably their lead guard and one of their better players. Despite that, you guys still had to go out and perform and showcase the energy against what's still a really good team. Yeah,
there's no doubt. Coach Bayless is doing a great job there. I expect to see him at the state tournament. He's going to be in single A. I think, in my opinion, he's going to be in single A state, even though he's missing a guard. Was kind of one of those things. The first time we played him, we went 1 of 20 from 3-point range. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to happen again, and sure enough, we didn't. We fought hard the first half, and we were just down, 1 point at halftime.
Yeah.
So we were right where we wanted to be. That was our theme at halftime was, hey, we're right where we want to be. Let's just go out in the second half and continue it. And for the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, we did that. And then they had about a 10-0 run on us or 9-0 run on us, and that gave them the 10-point lead. And the next thing we know, it's 17. So, we're lucky it didn't get away from us, but at the same time, I thought the kids, the fight that they showed is typical of us all year.
Yeah.
Those guys have been doing it all year long.
For sure. Have you ever experienced a 20-0 run to close a basketball game before?
I haven't been on the other side of it. Now, I say that it's not 20-0, but 2 years ago at Central Magnet, we had Summertown. We're up 18 going into the fourth, and we lost. And, absolutely nothing went right. Now, it wasn't a 20-0 run.
But it felt like it in spirit it was.
Man, I've been on the other side of that. I know exactly what it feels like. Jason and I talked about it Sunday afternoon. I know how it feels. Yeah. And a couple years ago, we were down 18 going into the fourth quarter against Giles County, and we ended up beating them in overtime, double overtime. So I've kind of been there, but nothing like a 20-0 run. Yeah. I've never seen that before. That's a new one for me. 29 years. That's another newbie. Just saw it.
Yeah. 6 minutes to close the game. It was something to see. And I'm and Brian are happy that we were able to witness it for sure.
And again, I didn't realize they hadn't scored because I'm just thinking next possession, next possession. Yeah. It
was a lot of fun to watch, and glad that you guys were able to come out on top. We'll be back in 2 minutes. To look ahead this week, we got 2 big games coming up. One of them in district at home against the district leaders in Summertown. We'll talk about it with Coach Worsley in 2 minutes right here on the Cascade Coaches Show.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust. Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
At First Community Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a true partner in your success. As a local business ourselves, we understand the challenges you face. Whether you're a new startup, a family business, or a growing company, we're here to help offer the tailored financial solutions you need. Looking for a loan, a business checking account that works for you, or expert advice from someone who truly gets it? We're just a call away, ready to support you with personalized service that makes a real difference. At First Community Bank, we believe your success is our success. Join the many local businesses who trust us every day to help them grow. Come see us today or visit firstcommunitybanker.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of five-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show, brought to you by Five Oaks Farm of Tennessee, Clanton Pipe and Supply, First Community Bank, and Kincaid Service Company. Noah Maddox here with Coach Worsley. Coach, we got a big week coming up. You guys shorthanded going into tomorrow at Cannon County, a game that you guys lost by 4, but it had a chance, much like Loretto, guys had a chance to tie it against Cannon County at the end, ultimately lost by 4. What, that game for tomorrow will be a little bit of an uphill climb, at least from an outsider's perspective, going in. But the real focus and preparation is on Summertown on Friday, with it being a district game. No, it's nothing against Cannon County. It's just that's kind of how this works at this point in the season. Summertown's unbeaten in the district. None of their games have looked particularly close, but they do play Loretto tomorrow night. That'll be an interesting film to watch, however that goes. But Summertown on Friday, what are you guys focused on when it comes to Friday against what so far has been by far the best team in the district?
Yeah, Summertown's really well coached. They've got 5 seniors. They've got 6 juniors. They're heavy upperclassmen. They shoot it great. Some would ask, question some of the shots, but they make them. Coach, he does a great job. They're going to bring that 1-2-2 press at you. They're going to settle back into a 1-2-2 half court, zone, and it's going to be not a lackadaisical zone. It's going to be in the passing lanes, trying to get deflections, making you make mistakes, and they do a great job. Coach does a really, really good job. Wes Long is a really good coach. Obviously, he's made the state tournament several years, and he's loaded up. And obviously, they're the best team in the district right now, at least from a win-loss standpoint. It's going to take a monumental effort, and I think our guys are, really looking forward to it.
For sure. First of 2 meetings this year with Summertown on Friday at home. So I'm sure, that playing them first at home has to be, especially when it's their gym, the way that, it's a little unique. Yeah. And, as an observer, and as somebody who, has played in that gym, it's like, you can appreciate it for what it is when you're not directly involved in it, playing against Summertown at their place, which that won't happen until for another 3 weeks. But getting them at your place on Friday for that kind of litmus test of sorts, while it being a huge game, if you guys win, going to a tie for first place, depending on tomorrow's result, could be would be a tie either way. What are you guys looking for from your guys on Friday and against what you said, a very active zone from Summertown?
Can we handle the ball, take care of it? Obviously the last couple games we've done a really good job taking care of it. Can we continue that trend? That'll be tested tomorrow against Cannon County. Will test us in a different way, but Summertown's is going to be a different type of pressure. It's not super smother you pressure. It's get deflections, make you make mistakes, make you second guess yourself. Can we keep our head about us? Can we continue to share the basketball, find the right guy, and then defensively, can we slow them down? Like everybody they put on the floor can shoot the basketball, and they're not scared to shoot it. I would dare say they've probably attempted twice as many threes this year as we have. Without looking at the numbers, I would bet that. I would bet the mortgage on that. They absolutely stroke the three, and they're good at it. And everybody, even the guys coming off the bench, do it. I'm not saying Wes Long would say this, but a lot of times there are times where he would tell them to shoot the ball rather than attempt something else where they might turn it over. Sometimes that's the way it goes.
Get up on the rim, and if you don't hit it, we got a chance to bring it down.
And they crash the boards. Even their guards crash the boards. So we're going to see a really good team on Friday, and it'll be a good test for us.
They've put up at least 70 in their last 3 games. At Mount Pleasant, they put up 81, an 81-62 win. At Community, 75-52 to open district play. And then Chapel Hill, you guys saw Chapel Hill on last Friday, but they did, for what it's worth, they did score 90 in that game.
Yeah.
So they'll, like you said, they'll put them up. Again, we're interested in the game tomorrow, their rivalry with Loretto, how that kind of plays out. Just for its own sake, not necessarily because there's not much to, for you guys, it's not like the body types can compare with Loretto in the same way. But you guys getting ready for Summertown, very intrigued to see how that game goes. With never count you guys out of any game at this point.
We hope not.
Especially, especially after Saturday. It feels like there's always one last run at some point, and so we're looking forward to it on Friday. Good luck this week, Coach. Thank you again for making the drive over here after practice, and good luck this week.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll talk. Get back to the Coaches Show next Monday. We'll have 2 games this week. At Cannon County tomorrow night on Tuesday, going live at 5:45 as always, and then home against Summertown. Get back to district play on Friday. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 5:45. Thanks for listening.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
Friends don't let friends miss out on savings. They share tips, tools, and smart choices that help your money go further. At First Community Bank, our savings accounts make it easy to work toward your goals with flexible options, competitive interest, and the friendly guidance you deserve. Because saving more isn't something a good friend lets you miss out on. Open an account today and put your money to work. First Community Bank. Friends and neighbors first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it rains, it pours. Quit settling for a muddy driveway. To crush any task at hand, 931-224-2605. The Gravel Man. Carrying sand, mulch, fill dirt, topsoil, and all sides